Morning, Bill here with the Metals Minute. Today is Thursday, September 1st, 2022. Well, we just had the last Metal Minutes. I called it Time to Accumulate, and the markets are down again today. So I want to talk about a concept that you may have heard in church, or if you're a Bible student, you've heard of the concept: through faith and patience we inherit the promises. That's a scripture found in Hebrews chapter 6, verse 12. And it's obviously talking about scriptural promises or spiritual promises. But I also believe it applies to precious metals. So let's talk about what that verse is talking about and how that can apply to the world of precious metals. Well, we all know it takes faith. You've got to believe in what you're doing, and certainly when it comes to precious metals, we obviously believe in them. I do, or I wouldn't be talking to you about it. But it takes more than faith. It also takes patience. If all you have is faith, then what happens sometimes is you can get worn out as we're waiting for what we know will happen to happen. It's not a matter of if it will happen. We know it will happen. It's just a matter of being able to be patient enough to last between now and when what we know will happen happens. So there's a certainty to it, but you still need patience. Now, I began to get serious about the world of precious metals about 10 years ago. I was a financial advisor, and I worked for many years in the banking industry and in the securities industry, the insurance industry, seen all kinds of products. And they all have their place. There's benefits to all of them, and there's risks to all of them. But then I began to look at precious metals, and I felt like there was a compelling enough story that I needed to share it with my own clients and whoever else that would listen. So I began doing that, and I began also taking action personally. Now, when I recommend to you it's a good time to purchase, that's because I believe it is. And the last time I said that, I made another purchase myself, getting ready to do that again. As it goes down, we have to be patient enough to know that we don't have to operate on blind faith. With precious metals. We have the benefit of hindsight. We can look back and we're not just waiting for pie in the sky to happen. We've seen it happen before. The proof is there. When conditions are similar throughout history, it tells us that we're in a situation now where in the next few years we're going to see the benefit of metal that we own today. And so I encourage you, not just don't lose faith, but also have patience. And it can be frustrating, I know, when you make that purchase because it's a good price and then the next week it's down again. It just means we have a better sale. And really, this is literally where we are. Now, sometimes you have to think strategically in your purchases. Sometimes certain products are either unavailable or the premiums are so high it's just maybe not practical. So go where people aren't necessarily looking. I'll tell you where I'm looking next. I'm going to try and pick up some more platinum. I've already made a purchase recently of gold and silver, as have some of my clients. I'm going to try to scoop up some platinum because guess what? The story about silver being, the next greatest thing for electric cars, it will be. It eventually will get there. But right now we have the states that are promoting electric cars the most, telling people not to plug in their cars only certain hours because they don't have enough capacity. And the capacity is not there right now for everyone to drive electric cars. So that means we're going to have to drive gas and diesel a while longer, And with palladium high, relatively speaking, due to, in part, to the conflict with Russia, that puts platinum at a good place. And remember, for many years, platinum was priced higher than gold. You know, we used to have the gold standard, and then, you know, the gold albums used to be considered, that was the top notch, and then they came out with platinum. Well, they went beyond gold. Now they've gone platinum. And that's because platinum was higher priced than gold for many years. And I believe we'll see that gap close in coming few years. Maybe not exceed gold, but certainly get closer than it is now. So that's going to be my next purchase. I encourage you to keep the faith and also keep your patience. It will be rewarded. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you again next week. Have a great and safe, happy Labor Day weekend, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for tuning in.